So today I'm going to tell you guys about the 3 most important steps to killing coyotes. If you follow these steps, I truly believe you'll kill more coyotes, maybe even your first coyote. The number one step to killing coyotes is locating coyotes. This is one of the most important steps. You could spend days making stands, making setups in areas you think look good for coyotes, but there may not be coyotes there. How one tactic that I like to use, I'll get up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I only hunt in the daylight, and I only hunt with shotguns. Uh, I'll get up 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'll drive around public land areas. I'll drive around private land that I have permission on, and I'll locate them. Basically, all I do is I get out of the car, and I will throw out some lone house, throw out some dual house, pair house, things like that. Sometimes even some pack house. And when they answer me, I'll drop a pin on my Onyx in the general area that they're in. And when it gets daylight, I'll sneak in there, and most of the time I shoot them. Second step, extremely important, is your setup. How you set up on these coyotes. So you found the coyotes, and now it's time to set up on them. The number one most important thing when you're setting up on coyotes is your wind. For years, I used to think it was a myth because I've killed several dogs that came in dead downwind. But I've also had several stands where the dogs didn't show up. And I truly believe it was because I wasn't paying attention to my wind. It's very important. So when you're choosing your setup, it's good to get as close to those coyotes as you can. It would not hurt to get within 50 yards. They're not like white-tailed deer. If just because they hear you coming, they're not going to get up and run away. Now, if they smell you coming, if you didn't check your wind and you run right into them, dead downwind, they're most likely going to get up and leave, or hold tight and they won't come to you. So when you're setting up, especially in the summertime, camouflage isn't that important. I really believe you could go out and sit there in a neon shirt and kill coyotes in the summertime. It's just like they ignore you. But you could go in and check your wind, find you a nice tree to set up against. The camouflage is not that important. Get as close to them as you can. That gives them no time to think about their reaction. Oftentimes, if you can get within that 50 to 100 yard range, they won't even consider smelling you. They're coming. They want you out of there. They want to know who you are, what you're doing there, if you're a threat to their pups, whatever the case may be. Most of the time, if you throw some coyote vocals out in that range, 50 to 100 yards, they're coming. The third step, now it's time to execute. You've located, you're set up on them, you got good wind. Now it's time to shoot. I personally shoot Winchester SXP 12 gauge, and I shoot Varmint X number 4 buckshot. That's good from anywhere to 5 yards to sometimes 60, 70. This black coyote that I have here on the back of the wall, I'll add some pictures in on this video. I shot that dog 80 yards with number 4 buckshot. I got lucky. I got one pellet right between its eyes, and I held probably 4 or 5 inches over top of its head. So if you follow these 3 steps, I really believe you'll kill more coyotes, maybe even kill your first one. Now when it comes to calling, personally myself, I don't play a ton of distress at all. I tend to hunt public lands. We have a lot of public lands in the section of Ohio that I live in. So distress oftentimes will scare a coyote, especially pressured coyotes. So when I get to calling coyotes, I use vocals. My number one go-to thing is vocals. I like solo house, I like male house, female house, I like dual house and pair house. Most of my coyotes that I kill come in on a lonely female howl mixed with submissive female, or lonely female howl mixed with some pup howls. Those are my 2 secret killing calls. One more killing call that I'll share with you guys that is a secret of mine is I like to use diaphragms, like a turkey diaphragm if you're familiar with that. And the best diaphragm that I found to howl with is a double D HS strut turkey call. It creates the best howling sequence I've ever heard. But if you follow these three steps, I believe you'll kill more coyotes. If you do, leave a comment, shoot a comment. And if you have any advice for me, really, I've killed a pile of dogs, but I'm always open. I want to know. I want to learn more. Uh, Drop it in the comments. Let me know something. Let me know something you know maybe I don't. And if this helped you out, if this was informational to you, share it with a friend.